Hello and welcome to the Local Music Revolution. I will be your host, Ogre. On today's episode, we have Out of Step. Out of Step is a ska band out of Visalia, California. I got a hold of the guys from Out of Step around the same time I got a hold of Asa from For the Record. If you have not heard that episode of Asa from For the Record, you should really take this time to go download it because it is an awesome episode if I don't say so myself. I'm going to assume that you have already or are going to download that episode that features Asa from For the Record. With that, let us continue. The guys talked about their writing process and the addition of Michael, their newest guitarist, to that writing process and what he brings to the table. They also talk about how the band got together initially, and we get onto the topic of DIY, which is very refreshing considering I fully support a musician doing it themselves. There's no need to have a record label in this day and age other than having a pretty substantial backing, but guess what? With any loan, you have to pay interest and you have to pay it back. With doing it yourself, you're doing it yourself. You get the profit, not a record label. So, I fully support that idea. We talked about their writing process and how they recorded their newest release, which is called More Than a Joke, because they want to be taken seriously. Of course, any musician worth their weight in gold wants to be taken seriously. They do want to have fun, but they want their technical ability on their instrument and their proficiency to shine through while they are having fun. And these guys are no joke. These guys are very, very good musicians, very good guys, very, very down to earth. It was very fun to talk to them. It was very interesting learning their side of ska and their views of the genre. More so for me, I thought was interesting was the fact that there's more than one member of Out of Step that has been in For the Record. So that was extremely interesting for me to find out as a fan of For the Record and now as a fan of Out of Step. Before I get to Out of Step, I want to take the opportunity to thank you for listening. I couldn't do something as amazing as this without the awesome bands that want to be involved and without their fans that want to hear all of the awesome things that happen and that we talk about on this show. You can connect with me and this podcast through facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution and on Twitter at TLMR podcast. The Local Music Revolution is also on Tumblr, tumblr.com/thelocalmusicrevolution. This whole operation is run through WordPress. So go to thelocalmusicrevolution.wordpress.com and follow the blog. That is where you'll get all of the information before it hits any of the social media. That's also where all of the information is funneled to and from for this podcast. So that is the first place that anything happens. While you're there, go check out the pages and all of the updates that I've been making on these things. There is so much to do, so little time to do it, and I'm trying to get everything out as quickly as possible in an efficient manner. In the coming weeks, there will be more updates, but the newest update, and I'm proud to announce, I now have a working store function on the blog. You can go through, you can get t-shirts, you can get stickers, you can get posters, wall mounts, but most importantly, which I thought was amazing, is you can get pillows and you can get comforter blanket things. That is awesome. I'm saving up so that I can purchase them too because I want to have all that stuff because I think that stuff is just fun and awesome. So you can go through, it's on the shop tab, top right hand corner of the blog. Go check it out. Find anything interesting, let me know. If you do get something, take a picture, post it up on social media, and promote the hell out of you being awesome. Now that's out of the way, here is Out of Step. right, I'm here with Out of Step. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing good.
All right, there's three of you on the line, so can you introduce yourselves, please?
Yep. My name is Michael. I am a guitarist and backup singer. I'm Ryan. I play drums. I'm Sam, and I play guitar and sing.
All right, and you are missing four gentlemen, sorry.
Whoa.
Can you go into those gentlemen and what they do?
Not with us today is Jared, our bass player, Bernie, our sax player, Andrew, our trombone player, and Tim, our trumpet player. They're all in other places and other worlds doing things.
All right, so can you get into how you guys got together and what brought you together?
All right. Well, basically, we all came from different bands. We've all played in different bands for a long time. Actually, you just did an interview with Asa from For the Record.
Yes, sir, I
Four
did.
of us were in that band. So
Oh, really?
Andrew, our trombone player, was in that band. Michael was in the band for about a year. He played the rhythm guitar. Samuel played saxophone. And I played drums in that band as well. But things just changed. People moved. People's opinions changed. Just like, band drama. You've been there. You know what I'm talking about. Stuff happened. And so we all kind of just went separate ways. And later, we all pretty much stayed friends for the most part. And later, a lot of us got back together and just took things to a different level with Out of Step in a whole new direction. So that's basically the idea, of why we're a band.
All right. When you guys are looking for the musicians, or when you guys talked, was there a specific criteria that you guys had to have for the musicians that aren't the normal, like, bass and guitar and drums?
Well, it was pretty helpful. Like, our trombonist Andrew, he played in For the Record too, and became really good friends with that. So that was pretty easy. I wouldn't really say there's any criteria. I mean, it literally, like, desperate times call for desperate measures. Like, it got to the point where, like, during like Christmas or whatever, me and Ryan, we would, like, go downtown while, like, the high school bands were playing and stuff, and, like, try to recruit kids, be like, hey, do you know what ska music is? Like, do you want to play in a band? So, I mean, like, honestly, there's really no criteria for it, because especially, like, horn players for ska bands are such a dying breed.
Yeah.
So it's pretty difficult to find people that are willing to play and, like, will actually stick it out and do it. So pretty much we'll take what we could get.
So your bio says that you guys are ska/pop punk, but you kind of lead more towards the pop punk. Can you go into that and like what influenced you guys to go towards one more than the other?
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I mean, we definitely have pop punk elements. Of course, still with the ska element. We take a lot of inspiration from bands like Blink-182. Less Than Jake is a huge band that we love. I mean, with the pop punk side, I mean, it goes from different pop punk beats to pop punk strumming, things like that. But we try to create our own, unique sound in a way, mutating ska with pop punk.
Because I know, like, a lot of times people think of ska music and they think of, like, the mid-'90s, like, kind of silly, bubbly, weird spin on alternative. And I don't know, like, we want to go for something a little different than that, because I feel like ska has been looked at as kind of a joke for such a long time. A lot of people don't really know where it comes from and all that stuff. They just, like I said, think of, weird people in, like, banana suits or Hawaiian shirts on stage, like, fucking idiot.
Is that where the title for your EP came from? More Than a Joke?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a big mix of things. It's a lot of things, but yeah, that's big inspiration for it. We just really wanted to be taken seriously as a band. And that's kind of what Samuel's getting at, is ska music has this reputation right now, as far as we see it, with some personal experiences, that it's just been like, we tired of, honestly, like, just tired of feeling like jokes, you know?
Yeah.
So we just wanted to take it in this, like, really serious direction. And I feel like we're kind of accomplishing that, and it's coming through in our music. And then I was going to piggyback on what Michael's saying about the pop punk thing. Like, Samuel and I were really the ones who got together first and started Out of Step. But recently, in the past few months, Michael's moved back into our lives from a hiatus of sorts, and Michael really brought the pop punk. I'll give Michael that credit. We had this awesome sound Samuel and I did together already, and then Michael brought this like third element in, and it is like, he's done some awesome stuff that isn't on the EP yet, or isn't on the EP because he wasn't in the band when we recorded it. But when you listen to us live, if you go to any of our awesome shows, you can definitely hear the difference, and it's really great.
Nice. That's really awesome. I understand what you guys are talking about with being taken seriously. Back when I started playing the drums, I'm a metal drummer. I play like Pantera and Disturbed and Drowning Pool kind of style, and I was told very early on that if I continued to play, I'd never actually get anywhere in my drums, and that it was just a dying breed kind of thing. Right. So I completely understand where you guys are coming from. It's annoying when somebody says that, because it's like, no, it's not dying. There's still people that like this. You're too damn closed-minded to see what's going on.
Right. Well, especially like when it's somebody that you like put your heart and soul into.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you want people to come out to your shows, you know. And so if they've come out to your shows before and they just like, it's a joke, they're not going to come out anymore. And when you make all this awesome new music and you start doing things you want people to see and hear, like, they're not as interested. So that's like, again, the whole basis of our EP, more than a joke.
Yeah, man, and while I was doing research and setting up for this, I was listening to it, which I really, really dug it. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not very into ska because I've never actually gotten into it. That interview with Asa actually just brought up the fact that I listened to ska before, like 10 years ago, and didn't even know it. And
I always tell people it's their favorite music they didn't know about, because when they hear it, they're like, "Whoa, this is really cool." I think I knew this a long time ago. It's like Sublime, right? No, but it's like a lot of other stuff that you've heard. So I always tell people that.
Well, in that episode, Asa actually told me about Goldfinger, the song they had on Tony Hawk, which was Superman. And I love that song, and he's like, yeah, that's ska. It's like, what? Really? I had no clue. But yeah, on that front, like, what got you guys into ska and the whole pop punk thing? I mean, I know when I hear Blink-182, it takes me back to the mid-2000s, you know, early 90s kind of era. But what got you into it?
Well, like, I personally, the first time I heard ska was I got this free, like, sampler CD from some random surf shop in, like, Cayucas or Morro Bay or something like that. And it had, there was, like, a track on there. I can't even remember what it was. I think it was Mustard Plug, to be honest with you. And if you haven't heard of them, they're a pretty cool ska band. And ever since then, I actually didn't even know what it was called until I was on MySpace and saw one of my friends' like music playlists had a bunch of that same kind of music. So then I found out it was called ska. Ever since then, I've really loved it. And it wasn't until when I joined For the Record that I met anyone else who liked it, and it just kind of my own life took off from there.
Nice, man, nice.
Ska, for me, like, I mean, I think it's a pretty cool story. Like, I mean, it doesn't need to be a long story or whatever it could be, but like when I was like really young at my church, like they always had like live music and stuff. Like I'm talking like when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old, and the first like live concert I ever saw was like this huge ska show at my church in like 1999.
Wow.
And like it was, I just remember it being like the coolest thing I've like ever seen. I was like, you know, they're playing like cool, like kind of punk music, but they've got horns, and it was just like this awesome thing to me. So like ever since then, it just like really stuck with me, and I've just loved ska since then. And you know, kind of like Ryan was saying, like when I thought For the Record was a band, like before I was ever in For the Record, like I kind of kept up with them on Facebook and stuff, and there's like, you know, a bunch of guys I went to high school with, and I was like kind of amazed. I was like, yeah, I didn't really know there's anybody else around here that liked ska, so I like was really, really into the idea of it. So that's kind of where that comes from for me.
Yeah, and then I'd say for me, ska, I didn't really start listening to ska music until high school. And really the only band I listened to that was ska was Streetlight Manifesto. I'm not entirely sure what about them hooked me. I think it was just the horns. The horns were so prominent and clean and had amazing melodies. I mean, to a point where I memorized the horn line melody more than I would actually the singing, because the horns were just so there. But yeah, and then I mean after that, I've just always enjoyed ska music.
That's awesome, guys. That really is. Like I said, I've never actually gotten like really into ska, but being that I've listened to you guys and that ASO ordeal and everything, I'm really jazzed about actually checking you guys out when I get a chance.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
All right, guys. So, can you tell me about the song "Get a Grip"?
Get a Grip. Get a Grip actually was a song I wrote on guitar. Like, you know, like we said earlier, I played sax in For the Record, but, you know, I've been playing guitar since I was like, you know, 13, 14 years old. So that was actually a song that I wrote on guitar like probably 2 years ago. And it was gonna be, I wanted it to be a For the Record song, but it just really never happened with For the Record. So when me and Ryan first got together and started jamming out some music, I got a couple ideas here and there, and it hit me. I was like, hey, do you remember this song I wrote like forever ago? And so I guess you could say Get a Grip was really Out of Step's first song. And as for the lyrics, I wrote them while I was drunk in the back of a van driving to LA from San Jose. So, I mean, they hold a lot of truth in terms of what I was going through in my life. But, yeah, I mean, those are just, you know, good old drunken lyrics.
Awesome, man. Well, right now we're going to play Get a Grip. and that was Get a Grip. All right, guys. So you guys just released an EP in February. Can you guys go into the writing process? I believe you said before Michael had come into the band, as opposed to now that he is in the band.
I'd say the writing process for guitar, honestly, it's a question for me to answer. Like, I don't know. I play guitar. I would by no means call myself a guitarist. I mean, that might be a confusing statement to me, but like I don't know. I play what sounds good to my ears. Like, I don't know. It comes and goes, and like I'll have 1 week I'll like write a couple songs, and I won't write a song for like a month or something like that. So
Yeah.
sorry, my buddy are fucking around in here now. So I mean, yeah, like in terms of the EP songs, like the writing process for them was like I was, sitting in my room or playing guitar or something like that, and like I played something that like I thought sounded good, so I like just tried to develop on it. In terms of the horns on the EP, I did write all the music for the horns. And that, I mean, there's really, again, whatever sounds good in the places where the horns will fit. There's not some magical process or some crazy plan I have for things. They just kind of happen and come together. For the EP, though, he was forced to write the horn lines. Well, that too, yeah. Going back into the desperate times for desperate measures or whatever. We didn't have horns really until like the day we recorded
Oh wow.
EP, which was the EP had Samuel on saxophone and it had Andrew playing trombone, but Andrew's just this champ, and he came in like at midnight in the studio or so, and I remember sitting there like half asleep while Samuel's teaching him horn lines that Samuel came up with like that day or before, and they were just like magic, and Andrew nailed them. Since then, yeah, now we have horn players, and they're with going forward, they're going to be making the horn lines and stuff. But props to Samuel for being able to do all that. Like, I just hit things, and and maybe I could write some music. But as far as the whole EP, it was like Samuel, and it's great.
Well, that's
and
awesome.
I personally enjoy having the EP. I know I'm not on it, but it's given me the ability to really sit down with it and listen and think, what can I add to give it more zest? So it's nice having that there. As much as I would have loved to record on that EP, I'm able to listen to it, and not to toot my own horn, but I like to think I've improved some of the songs on the EP.
Nice. So when you guys recorded, did you guys do the whole DIY thing, or did you actually go into a studio to record that EP?
Well, we can answer. We have done both. Before we recorded, probably like 2 weeks, Brian? Yeah. Before we recorded, we were just like, we're really eager to get something out there, so we recorded 2 shitty demo tracks and put them on a SoundCloud.
Nice.
And like we literally did it in my garage with a Rock Band mic, like the video game Rock Band, like that shitty little mic you sing into. We recorded it using a video editing program. It was a weird process, but it was fun. So we have done the DIY thing, but for the EP, we went to JCS Studios here in Visalia.
Nice.
Our buddy Jacob, who you know as well.
Yeah.
We just worked with him. Took us like probably, if you cut all the bullshit, it took probably 3 days, 3 nights to do it. Again, and I mean that was a pretty fun experience. Like, we recorded everything, not everything. We recorded guitar, bass, and drums live. So a lot of times bands will go in and throw on a click track and record track by track. We decided to do everything just like live, so we wouldn't have to deal with the click track or
So you guys were in the live room together?
No, we were in separate rooms, but we all had to do like a hybrid live thing. Yeah, it was weird.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I really like doing that. That's how we did back in the day. That's how we did most of our stuff, was playing together.
Yeah, it just gives it. I think the energy comes out a little bit more in live recordings like that. In my personal opinion. I don't know with the full length album we're going to record if we're going to go that way. I think we're going to get a little more polished sound and do the track by track thing. But for the EP, it was fun to do it like that. It was great.
Yeah, man, that's one of the more interesting ways of doing it. Without the click, I mean, it doesn't seem. Sometimes the click can make everything sound more mechanical, but with just playing off of your bandmates, it sounds like it ebbs and flows. There's a natural rhythm to you guys, and you can hear that, and it's really, really awesome to hear those kind of things.
Yeah, and I think honestly, I think at first we didn't even want to do that, but Jacob's a big fan of doing that, and so we gave it a shot, and that's true. Because I don't know, we just have never done that before. So Jacob, I give Jacob credit for that one. Turned out great.
That's awesome, man, because me and one of my buddies are actually planning on going to JCS Studios and working on some material for my friend's upcoming album. And yeah, that gives me a whole bunch of hope for that project, because that's how we write, so that's how it's going to be recorded. So that's really awesome.
It's good, man. It's a fun atmosphere. It's nice,
All right, man. So can you tell me what the MTAJ of 2014 and 2015 is?
Well, yeah. The year MTAJ is more than a joke. That's that's just the name of the EP. Like we talked about earlier, like the whole basis of what that's literally what it stands for. It's just more than a joke.
All right, because in my research on your Facebook under awards, that's what it said, and I was like, oh, they already got an award. That's amazing.
Oh god. Yeah, not a real award. I wasn't aware of that, sorry. I honestly totally forgot I had done that. Wait, did you give ourselves Michael? Yeah, we gave ourselves an award for being more than a joke. All right. That's all right. Michael should have answered that question because Michael's over here. Michael's over here laughing because we have no idea what we're talking about. All right, we'll take the award. Yeah.
All right, so you guys were established in October of 2014. That means this month is actually your 6-month anniversary. Looking back, like, how has the ride been in each of your perspectives?
That's a good song by Out of Step. Anyway, it's been, for me personally, it's been really fun getting to bring a lot to the table. As far as I've written 2 of the songs that we play, the lyrics for 2 of the songs that we play. I have like just a folder full of lyrics that both these guys and everyone else like. It's given me an opportunity to drum a lot better and drum a lot different and kind of expand myself as a drummer, just kind of push myself in a different direction. And the latest thing we're getting into is merchandise, and that was something none of us have really ever been. We've never been down that road before, and it's fun. It's really fun. But that's just my personal experience. Samuel?
For me, it's been cool. Like, like I said, I play guitar, but don't really call myself a guitarist. So, like, since October when me and Ryan first got together and like started jamming or whatever, it's been really cool for me to kind of see my, I can tell that I've gotten better at playing guitar, that I've gotten better at writing music, and more comfortable. I mean, like, it was so weird. Like, I sang and stuff in front of people before, but it's been a huge confidence booster from when we started to where we are now. After playing a couple shows, like playing guitar and singing in front of a bunch of people, like, it's definitely helped me out, in terms of that confidence. Like, I'm not, stage fright doesn't really happen, I guess.
I mean, it still does. Everybody gets nervous for shows, but yeah, it's just yeah. I mean, it's been yeah. I mean, it's been cool.
Yeah, and then I mean, like our Facebook says, Out of Step has been a band since October, but I didn't join until about January, mid, maybe late January, early February, and so I mean, some songs were already established, but I love that I was able to come back. So basically, I moved away for college. Yeah, I basically died because I did not talk to anybody from my hometown, and so when I booted up my Facebook again because I deactivated it. I was like, I want to see what people are up to. So I booted up my Facebook again and was like, hey guys, I'm moving back to Visalia. And Samuel messaged me and said, hey, you're playing second guitar in my band, or in Out of Step. And I was like, dude, I'm totally down for that. I mean, I've always loved playing music. And I love the writing process we have now with having two guitars. I think it's great.
You know, like, yeah, this has been 6 months technically of us being a band, but realistically, I feel like we've only been a band, like an actual band, for like 2 or 3 months ever since the EP came out. Because that's when we've had solid members who can say are in the band. They're not just people helping us out. You know, Jared, our bass player, didn't come along until maybe January. Yeah, Michael barely started playing with us a month or two ago, and our horn section's barely been our horn section since the week of our first show. So yeah, we technically were like this thing that made music, but being a band has been like two months. So yeah, that's true. So it's like our 6th 2-month anniversary.
Well, congratulations, guys. Can you guys talk about the song Punchline?
Punchline is
You wrote the lyrics, right? This is interesting, yeah. This is one of those songs that I actually wrote. It's just an interesting song, you know. Okay. So the EP is called More Than a Joke, right? So
yeah.
that the name from the EP was taken from this song, which was like, yeah, Get a Grip was like Out of Step's first song because it's been around forever, and the Punchline was like Out of Step's other first song. It was like our anthem. It was like, we Get a Grip, I've heard before. Punchline was like completely new, brought to the table for this band, and it was like all the stuff that we never did in previous bands, any of us. And you know, it has some. It ties into old feelings. It ties into it. Just, I don't know how to explain it other than that. It's kind of like what was then, and this is what we are now. And it's all about being taken seriously. Everything we've talked about so far, in a nutshell, is Punchline.
All right. Well,
if that makes any sense at all. I'm over here like looking at these guys.
Yeah, it makes complete sense. It really does. All right. So this is Punchline.
So here we pretend inspired to leave you. We got this. I'm less than a legend, but I'm so full of hope. Just for the record, I am.
and that was Punchline. All right, guys. You guys hit on it in the previous segment. It was something I wanted to talk about for a little bit. You guys, I saw a post that you guys are actually working on like a virtual merch stand, merch booth. Can you go into that process? It looks like you have a little bit more, or doing a little bit more than some of the bands that I've seen. So can you go into that and talk about what you guys are doing?
Yeah, as far as merch, okay, let's go back. The digital merch table, like, we're working on like an actual website, like, you know, not a Bandcamp, not a Facebook, but like an actual website. And on that will be basically like what was said, somehow, some way, a digital merch table. Like it's exactly what it sounds like. You go on our website, you're going to have the ability to buy what we have to offer.
Okay.
And that's as much as I can say about that, because that's all where we're at right now. But as far as the merch, you know, right now we have 3 different kinds of buttons. We have 2 different stickers. We have one style shirt in different colors. And big shout out to 3 Engine merch run by the members of the band Survey Said.
New Jersey.
Yeah, from New Jersey. They really, really hooked it up with like excellent quality shirts. They're awesome, and everyone loves them. You know, but we definitely want to always keep things fresh. Like that's kind of like, in my opinion, Samuel's. I think it's everyone's opinion. I think I'm speaking for all of us that we want to keep things fresh. Like you come to a show, if you buy the shirt and then you come to a show and it's just the same shirt, there's nothing else for you to buy, right? You know, you're not going to buy the same thing again, and that's not doing anything for us. You know, as a band, when you're playing shows and you want to make it, it becomes more of a business than just, you know, fun in a garage with your friends. So that's why you got to have like fresh ideas, fresh merchandise, because you got to keep making money, right? That's a lot of it. So we just got a new design made. It's an awesome thumbs up, taken right out of a song, one of our, you know, soon-to-be hit songs that we're going to work on in our album. The Hourglass tee that we have right now available is straight out of Punchline. There's a line in Punchline that says, "My hourglass is full." It's just, you know, it means a bunch of stuff. We're working on a lot of stuff. You know, in fact, we are tying back into the DIY thing. We just acquired a bunch of Adobe programs like Illustrator and things like that. So with the Hourglass, we had to go through multiple people to get it made, which they did a great job. Austin Smith, he's a tattoo artist out of Visalia. He drew it up for us. He's Samuel's tattoo artist. He drew it up for us, and we had to go through several people to get it to the format to send to 3 Engine Merchandise. It was just, you know, it's one of those, like, if you can cut out the middleman, that's awesome, save yourself some money. So we're going to be doing everything ourselves. Pointing around with that, like I said, to keep things fresh.
Well, yeah, I was able to start working on merch for a couple bands that I was in, and never actually got anywhere. But that right there, I love that process because it was so much more interactive and so much more imaginary than the music. I mean, you can tie into the music as much as you want, you know, with those things, but it was just so much more of an imagination and putting designs and colors to what you're trying to say and what you're trying to do, and it was one of my favorite times.
You know, I think probably the coolest part, and we've all talked about this, is I'm pretty proud of us for selling a lot of shirts already, you know, and stickers and stuff. But the shirts have been a big hit so far, and I think it's like pretty cool seeing some people you really don't even know, and you know, your friends and stuff, like rocking your band shirt. Like that's like the coolest part. That's like, you know, we haven't really made it, but that's like a kind of a we made it moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we want to keep doing that. We want to keep feeling awesome.
Well, yeah, man, it was. It's amazing to see you guys doing that, and you taking the DIY approach is actually really interesting. Was there a defining moment where you just said that you had to do it yourselves?
That's basically been another like idea or plan of ours since like the beginning, is just to do everything. I mean, like obviously, like, we didn't record ourselves, but we used, like, a local dude to do it, like a friend of ours. Like, you know, for our merch printing, we had, you know, buddies of ours from Survey Says print our shirts. Like, we wanted to try to keep everything pretty DIY. Obviously, we don't have, at the moment, we don't have the means to print shirts, but it's definitely something we're working on. But just the whole DIY thing, it cuts out, you know, it cuts out a middleman, it cuts out an extra body that isn't totally necessary. It's easier to keep track of what we're doing. And I mean, even though, you know, like, everybody knows there's going to be a business side to being in a band, and it definitely makes that business side easier to keep everything between, like, 2 or 3 of us. I mean,
Yeah.
So it's, you know, I just think the DIY thing just makes things a little easier for now.
And more cost effective.
Yeah.
Oh, so much.
Yeah. It's like we have a budget, and when we do everything ourselves, it's like we run that budget, you know.
Yeah.
Versus having to get a shirt design or you know, some kind of graphic design, we can do that for free now. You know, we might hate each other by the end of it because we might have ideas that someone else doesn't like, but I'm kidding, we all love each other. But it's free.
See, I was lucky back in the day. What got me into the whole DIY thing was actually MySpace. I wanted to actually do a real website, and I didn't know how, so I used the bulletin system on MySpace to actually learn how to do HTML and CSS coding. And I eventually went to college for web design and graphic design because I was like, this could make my whole band thing a whole lot easier, and I wouldn't be shelling out so much money to everybody. I can keep that and then pour it back into the band. So yeah, I love the DIY approach to music. It's one of those things that's just incredible. And the ideas that you guys come up with and the other bands come up with when they do it, it's untouchable. I mean, it's just astounding what you guys can come up with.
Right.
So, before we get into this next segment, before we get into this next song, can you guys tell me what your plans for the future, other than the merch, are? You said website, merchandise, and you were talking about an album. Can you go into that real fast?
Yeah. I guess I got the talking stick. Well, okay, so right now, it's what, April 13th?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's April 13th right now. This month, we don't have any shows planned for April, like, so far. But we do have several planned for May. The details don't matter. But after we're done playing shows and focusing on set lists, we are definitely going to be getting the full-length album going. Right now, we are planning on naming the album Reincarnation. Various reasons. There's going to be, we're going to re-record several of the songs from the EP, not all of them, but we're going to re-record them because they have new elements that we're bringing to the table, so we need to, like that Michael brought to the table, his pop punkness, and just cool stuff, so we want to re-record them so we get those sounds in there. And then a bunch of other great songs that we're excited for everyone to hear. So as along with the merchandise, along with, like, always being more than a joke, we're gonna sway away from the more than a joke aspect of it. That's now, but going forward, it's all gonna be about our full-length album Reincarnation. You know, again, DIY. We're gonna be doing all of our, like, liner notes and everything. Like, we're gonna take care of all that. So it's gonna be a hefty process, but it should be fun.
So hopefully by the middle of July, I think is probably when people should expect the full length. We're going to try to do 10 or 11 songs.
Wow, nice.
Again, and we're still talking about where we're going to go to record. I mean, you know, like Jacob is always going to welcome us back at JCS. I think the price in terms of the money for it, like, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see where we are by June when we try to start recording. But I mean, this is, you know, a few other options out there. But again, you know, it's all part of it. But, you know, like I said, Hopefully they're two different things. But anyways, hopefully by the middle of July, people can be expecting our full length.
Yeah, like Ryan said, right now we don't have any shows set up for April, but we're really using this time off to finish up songs for the full length. So we have tons of new songs that we'll be playing with at the shows in May. For people to get kind of a idea of what the album is going to be like, and the album is going to be amazing. We have some really awesome songs. I'm super excited to re-record some of our songs to add my parts into them. It's funny that the album name is Reincarnation, or that's the name right now, because these songs really are going to be reincarnated.
Yeah, and Michael died and he came back, so
yeah, another reincarnation that I am. And I came back as a better musician,
a better friend,
absolutely.
Less of a joke.
Less of a joke. So yeah, this next album is going to be just on point and really the sound we want to share with everyone. Because on this EP, I mean, if you listen to it, you can kind of get a feel of different various sounds within the song, and that's cool. People get a taste of what we're capable of. But this full length is going to be well rounded and really the sound that we're going to be heading towards.
I could definitely thank Michael for that too. I mean, like you said, the EP is a little, I don't want to say out there, but I mean, like definitely I could say that the first track off of it, Thieves, which actually our bassist wrote, it's a lot different than the rest of it. Each of the songs kind of differ from each other a bit, but since Michael started playing with us, he's definitely helped round out that sound, and especially with the writing process too. Like, he and I will sit down and I'll be like, hey dude, check out this idea I've got, and he'll be like, well, let's do this with it, and it makes the writing process a lot better, and I definitely think it helps our sound.
Nice. How many songs do you guys have right now? Do you have the majority written, or how's that working?
So right now we have 8 songs written. So we have 8 songs written. The only things we just need to kind of sand off some pieces and kind of make them a little more tight. But 8 completed songs. We're still working on 2, 3-ish. We're not sure if we want 10 or 11 songs on the full length. So 2 or 3. Some of them are still in the writing process. We have 2 songs that are in the writing process right now, and then we still have that one song that we need to get going on. But we still have a couple months to work on those songs. But yeah.
Nice. Well, can you guys talk to me about In Perspective, please?
In Perspective was when did I start writing those lyrics? Well, first off, with In Perspective, I wanted it to be less of a ska song, which I mean, it definitely it doesn't have any of the the ska guitar, the backbeat shit, but it's still got big horns and stuff. But ultimately, I wanted that to be a bit more of just a straight pop punk song. And I think it's got a real feel of the early 2000s pop punk. It's a little faster than a lot of modern pop punk. Okay. It's really just short and to the point. I mean, that song, I would say probably not. I mean, overall as a band, not one of our favorites. Just, I mean, it needs work. But I mean, like I said, I wrote that song super quick. The lyrics. I mean, I could tell a story about the lyrics, but it was a shitty part in my life, and I was trying to, changed my outlook on things, and I was trying to be positive and felt like I needed to write about it, so that's what I did.
Awesome.
But you know, get things in perspective. So.
And this is In Perspective. That was In Perspective. All right, gentlemen. We haven't talked about it, and this is usually where I start goofing off because it's been 45 minutes to an hour. So what are you guys' personal influences that you carry into your music?
Go for it, Michael.
Yeah, so I mean, the band that just like is a musical representation of who I am, I'd say would be Blink-182. I take so much inspiration from them. I mean, all the way from the first albums to their newest, the EP that they just released a year or two ago, whatever it was. I mean, all of their music, I don't think I've ever. I mean, yeah, their older stuff is kind of a little hard to listen to just because recording quality. But I mean, I love all their songs. Like I mentioned earlier, Streetlight Manifesto, I've just always listened to, always loved them. I mean, I'm really trying to think. I mean, anything that anybody from Blink-182 has ever been in. I mean, we got Boxcar Racer. I'd say actually Boxcar Racer would be a bigger influence, like in playing, like the style of playing, than Blink-182 for me. But the music itself, Blink-182 is definitely where my heart is.
So were you pissed when what's his name, Tom, left the band?
We're not here to talk about it.
I don't have a. You know, I mean, like, I enjoy what Tom is doing outside of Blink-182, not necessarily just Blink-182. So I mean, it's whatever. As much as I'd love him to be, you know, in that band, I can deal with him doing so much more, not in that band. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Blink-182 is probably like my number one.
For me personally, okay, I think me, Michael and I, like to. We don't talk about it, but I think we are fighting mentally of who's the bigger Tom DeLonge fan here. Okay, true. It's probably both of us. But see, like, I love Blink-182. They're my favorite band, but Angels and Airwaves is more my favorite band. And I think musically I'm more influenced by Angels and Airwaves because I enjoy listening to it way more than Blink-182. Okay, so like I kind of write lyrics for this band sometimes for Out of Step, and you can always tell when they're my lyrics because you can tell the influence from Angels.
They're better than mine.
They're like they're the better lyrics. Well, I don't know how to explain it. But I'm just really influenced by like that Angels and Airwaves sound. As far as like drumming though, like Les and Jake, which isn't saying much because I mean he's a great drummer, but that's about it. Like he's pretty. He's solid. The problem is he doesn't do anything too crazy. But he doesn't need it. He knows what the music needs. And like Blink-182 a little bit, but you know that's Travis Barker we're talking about. That's like a whole other world of drumming. Les and Jake and Green Day, like in perspective, like is probably okay. I'm not Trey Cool, but it's probably like the most Green Day song I've ever played. Definitely, you know, just yeah. So those three bands right there, all together, kind of, or maybe four if you want, Tom. If you want to put them together, are what influenced me the most.
And I think for me, it's difficult. I don't know to make this short, but
yeah, because it's a giant list. It's just on and on and on.
I mean, I'm gonna run to the store. Man, that's so difficult. I mean. They both already said Blink-182. I guess I'll just top it off and say it again. I mean, they are by far. I mean, yeah, they're more like fangirls than I am. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, you know, like I was saying, growing up listening to that like early 2000s, late 90s pop punk, like early Blink-182 definitely has a huge influence on me. In terms of the ska music, I mean that list could just go on and on and on and on. With Les and Jake, Streetlight Manifesto, the Planet Smashers, Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, like even Survey Says. I know they're new, but they definitely have a lot of influence in terms of like why I want to play music and all that stuff. But I don't know. I guess. Instead of making a huge list of tons of different bands, I could just say like a lot of early 2000s pop punk is huge influence in terms of like how I want to write and what my idea of our sound should be like. That statement didn't make much sense, but yeah, I mean, just a lot of early 2000s pop punk, and I'm not huge into the OC, like Orange County ska. It's a little too bubbly, a little too alternative sounding, not enough like punk. So a lot of like East Coast ska bands. I mean, I'd say that's really where my influence comes from. That was, a big circle back to nothing, but yeah.
Nice. All right, so. Here's a question that I've always wondered about other people. For me, when I see certain bands, it's like, okay, that would be cool to be in that band. But there's always been like one band that I always thought, this is the image that I want for my band. This is the perfect band I want to be in. It's got everything that I love about music or my style of music in this band. For me, that's actually Drowning Pool. I've loved them since 2001. I still love them today. Do you guys have that's not Blink-182 or Tom related?
Yeah, Out of Step.
Right.
Yeah. That's the band you want to be.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know. What band do I want to be in?
Well, no, it's just like the band, the popular band that kind of sums up everything that you want to put into your band, or that you want to get out of your
definitely,
band.
Like our goal in life as a band.
The tour was less than Jake.
Yeah, we want to open with them. Open for them.
So yeah, they're definitely. I mean, ska has gone through a lot of weird twists and turns, but they are one band that has. I mean, they were doing, in 1997, I think, is when. Actually, I'm gonna check this real fast because I don't want to sound like the idiot on the air. You, Ryan. Man, just about there. 1998. I was gonna say 97. Their Hello Rock You album from '98 was so much different than all other ska that was going on in 1998. Like, their Less Than Jake, it just like epitomizes like the perfect mixture of pop punk and ska. And like, second, I guess we could say that's really, what I mean. I don't want to say we're not trying to like copy them, but the whole sound is what we're like trying to set out to accomplish.
Yeah, it's a decent blueprint to be able to have. I don't know. For me personally, like I said, it's Drowning Pool. I mean, I see that and everything that they've done, every vocal melody, every guitar, every drum beat. It's just it kind of, to me, that's what metal should be, and that's what I want to put into a band is that kind of energy and everything like that. So, yeah, that's mine.
Right on.
All right, so I'm sorry. I will have to cut this because I completely forgot what I was going to say.
That's cool.
All right, so you guys, it's about time to wrap up. We're about the hour mark. Where can people find you? Do you have a release date for your website, actually?
Okay, no. So like I said, we just got like a bunch of lives. No lives. We just got the Adobe software, and it has Dreamweaver on it, so that makes like all that really easy. So we're screwing around with that. There's no.
Okay,
hopefully by the time this airs, it's up, but I don't have any way of telling you how to find it.
Okay, so
but you'll be able to find it through our Facebook, which is facebook.com/outofstepband, and we're gonna have our Bandcamp page, which is outofstepska.bandcamp.com, where you can download our EP for free. And if you don't know how to do that, it says name your price, but we gave the option to name your price at $0. So that's cool. We just want people to hear it. We don't care if we make money off that,
Yeah.
Our Instagram is at outofstepska. I know we have a Twitter. I don't know what it is.
Outofstepska.
Oh, Twitter, outofstepska. And I'm pretty sure that's about it. Like I said, we'll have a website eventually, but I'm sure you'll find a way to it from one of those 4 places.
All right, so before we actually let you go, I wanted to tell you I've done band websites, and like I said, that's how I got into the whole college deal. Was I thought it would help my musical career. Dreamweaver, you guys are actually on the right step. I mean, Dreamweaver is where I learned most of everything I do. Yeah, if you guys need help, please do not hesitate to call me. I will walk you through anything and everything that you've done or that you need to do. At current time, I believe 7 full websites that actually have gone live. Multiple ones that were canceled or people didn't pay or things like that. So if you guys need help, don't hesitate to call me, all right?
Good to know. That's good to know.
All right, man. So yeah, I'll be looking for that website as soon as you guys can get that up. Is there any last anything that you want to say before we go?
It's been the three of us here today, but it's a group effort. All of us have the option to bring stuff to the table. If you don't want to, you don't have to. There's going to be music to play, but we're very open to everyone bringing what they feel and have to say and want to play to the table. And that's what's cool about this band so far is we've allowed everyone to do that. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But we at least give everyone the option to bring their stuff to the table, which is great, which gives it a whole different sound, and instead of just like one sound, it's going to bring all those different elements in. Big shout out to the rest of the band. They're great. We played two awesome shows. Like they were so much fun. Yeah, the first one had some, a little rough around the edges. It was our first show, but it's okay. It was still like pretty punk rock at CYC in Fresno.
Also, big shout out to Nick Terrified, bassist of Iwanaga, for helping us get shows and stuff. I know he digs us a lot. They're good friends of ours. So like this summer.
That too, like about Iwanaga and for the record, it's a ska. No one. Compared to other genres of music, it's small. It's kind of unknown. So we just want to play awesome like punk rock ska shows with the other ska bands and try to keep that whole thing alive.
Yeah.
So as serious as we are, we still really just want to play those little shows in Fresno and Visalia with our friends and other bands.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you guys very much for spending time with me talking about your band. I can't wait to see you guys live. I really enjoyed the EP. I'm really, really looking forward to the album that you guys are writing. So thank you very, very much.
If you didn't already say, what's your favorite song in the EP?
My favorite song actually was Punchline.
Right on, dude. That's a good favorite, I think it's kind of funny. Most of the time, everyone says their favorite song is Thieves. So I think we're all mouthing the word Thieves right now, guessing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, everyone really likes that song. It's just so different and stuff. But no, they're all great songs. We didn't play Thieves on here today. Again, big shout out to Jared for bringing that to the table. It's a great song. We love it a lot. I don't know. We just chose these other three songs. And these are the three songs that are going to change a lot with the album. So we're excited. So yes, be sure to check out the album Reincarnation, if that's what it's called by the time it's aired.
Yeah. I will make sure that when I get information, I will promote the hell out of it, guys. Thank you very much, and continue doing what you're doing. I can't wait to see you guys.
All right, man. Thank you.
All right, guys. Later.
Later.
I know. It was a very good interview. Very fun. I really enjoyed talking to these guys. They're really good guys. They're really, really serious about their music, and they should be. They should be. It is very good music. Out of Step is one of less than 10 ska bands in the area. They are carrying the flag and trying to turn people onto the music and showing people that this is a decent style of music. This is a very fun genre, very interesting how they articulate all of the instruments within the songs. What they are doing as musicians and as artists is something incredible and should be taken as such. The fans can see through the BS. Always have, always will be, and Out of Step isn't giving in, which is amazing for their fans and their genre. Go check out More Than a Joke, because it's not a joke. See what I did there? Play on words. Moving on. I'm always trying to figure out new ways to promote and to get this podcast out there. I'm also very, very interested in what the listeners actually have to say about what I'm doing. I know that the bands, not one of them has said a bad thing. Most of them that have said anything more than thank you have said that it's a great experience and it's great what I'm doing. It's very, very humbling to hear that, but I want to know what everybody thinks. So, with that being said, you can contact me at facebook.com/thelocalmusicrevolution or on Tumblr at TLMR podcast. The podcast can also be followed on WordPress. That is where every single thing that I'm doing comes to, starts, ends, whatever you want to call it. That's where it all is funneled to. There you can get all of the new updates. Anytime I update that, It's for something awesome. It's for making sure that everything is current, up to date, and ready to go for whoever wants to look at what I'm doing. You can also subscribe, rate, add, and comment the podcast on iTunes and Stitcher. All you have to do is go to the iTunes store, look up The Local Music Revolution, subscribe to it, leave a comment, leave a 5-star rating. You know, those things help get this podcast out there. They're free. All you have to do is give me 5 minutes of your time so that you can do that, and that will help the rankings for this podcast. On Stitcher, all you have to do is download the app on your phone. Android phones and I believe Windows phones have the ability to have this app. Basically what you do, you download it, you sign in, you look for The Local Music Revolution. It will have the current episode that has just been released within the past week, and it will have all the previous episodes for your listening pleasure. So go on there, check it out. Make sure, if you do, let me know how you're listening to this podcast, or how you found it, or what you think of what I'm doing. It's really, really something I'm wanting to know. I'm always looking for bands and artists and people who help these bands and companies that help these bands get to the next level. I'm always trying to schedule at least one interview a week so that there's not a lull in the information that I'm presenting to you as fans. If you are someone, or you know of someone that fits this criteria, please have them contact me at thelocalmusicrevolution@gmail.com, and we will start the process to get them on the show, have an hour-long interview, and talk about why they are great. As always, this is The Local Music Revolution. I am Ogre. You are awesome. Take care and be good, everyone.